Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Suzanne and I garden and grow cut flowers in Devon in the UK. I did a quick little update video last week, was it? I lost track of time. We're now in between Christmas and New Year and I'm in my greenhouse. I mentioned in my update that some of the glass had smashed in the greenhouse. So I had contacted the glass company and got it repaired really quickly, because I know from past experience, if you don't replace your broken panel straight away, once the wind gets in, it starts to sort of warp the frame of the greenhouse, and as a result you end up with a lot more broken panels than just say the 3 or 4 that are broken initially. This was broken by something hitting the greenhouse and of course smashing the glass. And putting the new glass in, I didn't cut myself, but then I've managed to injure myself. I had a bucket with all the broken grass in and I was in here tidying up and I managed to catch my hand on it. So the plan in the greenhouse is to concrete the floor. So I've picked everything up off the floor. At the moment it's just a gravel floor. And the reason we're doing that is just because I'm having such problems in here with both voles and mice, and it's becoming quite costly. I had lots of ranunculus and anemones in here all growing along really well, and I do have the ones I've rescued left, which I've had to move to the shed, but it's an expensive problem when they just keep eating the corms, and also they dig them up, and the whole thing has just been a bit of a nightmare. So the floor in here is completely clear, and now I'm just waiting for a concrete floor. I have gone ahead and cleaned the greenhouse. I always do that at this time of year. I will link, I have a video of me cleaning the greenhouse, so you didn't need to see me clean it again. And I just clean it with a soft broom. And I do use the ladder to get right up on the roof, but you can see, although it's condensation-y, it's nice and clean. There's no green, and I've also sort of done under my workbenches to try and get rid of any snails and slugs that may be in here, although I'm sure I've probably missed the odd one. So that's one job I've got done, and we'll have a little look around the garden. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk. I'm going to have to do some sort of voiceover because it's still incredibly windy. We've had a good 6 days of really quite strong gales here, and we are high up, and I don't have a lot of hedges, so we do get a lot of wind. But speaking of hedges, I have just ordered myself 6 little bare root trees to plant. They're not going to be anywhere near the cut flower patch, but I just thought I'd have a little area at the bottom of my sheep paddock, which, you know, in 10 or 15 years will have some quite nice substantial trees in it. So I've ordered some different evergreen pines and spruces, so when they arrive, which should be next week, I would have thought, we can plant those together. So, and then I can tell you exactly what I ordered, because off the top of my head I can't remember, but anyway, I'm going to take you for a little tour, and it's a bit like, I don't know if any of you have a cleaner. I don't have a cleaner, I wish I did, but lots of people have a cleaner. They employ a cleaner and then they go around and clean their house before the cleaner gets there. Have to confess that quite often before I would do a tour of my cut flower patch, I make sure that it is had a bit of a tidy up. It hasn't today. It's a complete and utter mess, but that's good because it shows you realistically I have another job. I have my animals. I mean, I spent all morning this morning just sort of sweeping my yard out, cleaning my animals out, doing a really good job of that because I'm going away and I want to make sure it's easy for my dad. I meant to ride my pony and I haven't even got to it. So this is realistic here. I have a huge list of jobs to do in there, and I'm just going to have to wait, and you're just going to have to see what it actually looks like in the moment. So I'll do a voiceover over the top, but here we go. Let's go into the cutting patch. Okay, so some of the perennial beds aren't too bad. They just need a bit of organising really, but they're not too weedy. It's the annual beds where it gets a bit of a mess. I've got all this drip irrigation here waiting to go into my new greenhouse. This is stuff I bought years ago, which has just been in the shed. A wheelbarrow of mulch. My low tunnel cover just keeps coming off. Here are all of the daffodils I planted, can you remember? And I have seen a few. There's one. There's one. Anyway, I have seen a few more as well, just starting to sort of, there's quite a few here coming up, just here. So there are all of my daffodils. This is the other low tunnel, which has the EnviroMesh. You can see it's just weedy grass, a few turfs, complete mess. This is the sweet peas, look. They haven't even been taken off the frame. Oh, complete disaster. My peonies, I've decided it's way too wet in this bed where I planted them. If they make it, it will be great. But you can just see the standing water around the ditch there. So these peonies are going to have to move. Probably they'll just move up a bed, up into here. And here the floors, look. I mean, to be honest, that's one of the reasons I haven't done a lot. This is Canterbury Bells, Honesty, Dorcas. There's some Phacelia in here with some tiny foxgloves. This Scabious needs to go because I've got a few more tulips I just want to chuck in there. This is all tulips under here. And then we've got Dianthus down here, white and pink. I moved my mint just to the end. A pile of rubbish that's probably killing all the grass underneath. Look at the ditch here. This was some Greek cress that I sowed really late, and there are a couple in there, but let's be honest, it's not very significant. This is just a bed that needs clearing, another bed that needs clearing, and another bed over here that needs clearing. Some more piles of stuff killing the grass. Oh look, some dahlia tubers which were not good. They needed composting, but they haven't made it. They're just basically killing the grass. So I really need to move those. My roses are actually looking well cared for, as are the roses this side. This bed was my dahlia bed. That's all just been covered. This bed is another mess. The raspberries have been pruned. All this on the path is all just bits of stuff that needs cutting up and composting. This bed, I have at least taken down all of the supports ready for me to just, well, sort it. I mean, it's mainly weeds, as you can see. So my polytunnel is probably going to incorporate these two beds. So it's 2.4 metres this way and 6 metres this way. So I'm hoping it will incorporate a metre width bed, a metre width bed, and then my pathway in between. And it's either going to go here or here. But I haven't quite got that far yet. Some of my trees have at least been mulched. I really need to get these old baskets in the garden, the cottage garden, but it's such a mess. I just don't know where to even start. These are things that really should have been looked after a bit better, but hey ho, they're still alive. I've got cuttings here. This is Spirea. This is the bridal. I'll write it in, I can't remember, but I love it. Really quite a fast growing shrub. I know it looks dead, but it's deciduous, so it will leaf up again in the spring. And then I've got some little baby Brachylotis that I did from cuttings here. Really useful in floristry. And then we've got some Verbena boreensis. Some of these things look dead, but they are alive. That's an Aquilegia. We've got some more Lady's Mantle here, and some Jacob's Ladder. That's a load of self-heal there that I want to try and put in the garden. I know it grows weedy, but I like it. And then these poor geums. These ones are Mai Tai, and how they've ended up in that basket like that, I couldn't tell you. This garden's a disaster area. I mean, this rose desperately needs tying back. Look how much the clematis compost has sunk down, so I need to do something about that, and it needs a prune. I need to work out which category that clematis is and work out when I prune it. Knowing my luck, I probably should have done it already. This bed's going to be made bigger here, so I need to take the turf off here. I'm going to take the turf off this corner. Just where this buddleia gets so big now, I just want to bring the bed out a bit further here. And we don't need the lawn to be quite as large as it is. I mean, what a mess. I mean, I know it's winter, but it should have been mulched by now. I'm usually really good at mulching, and every time I don't mulch, I regret it, so I need to get that done. And you see things like this roseanne has killed all the grass, but it's okay because I'm going to bring the bed out further. This poor rose hasn't been pruned. Just look, what a mess. Mess. Look, here's a dahlia which usually would have been taken into the shed, and it's still out in its pot. This has just been taken over by weeds back here. This is a load of stuff I dug up with the intention of replanting it and just didn't get round to it. This is an area that I did start digging. I don't like digging, but I've been trying to get on top of bindweed in here. Whether or not I'll be successful, we'll have to wait and see. This is the worst area for bindweed back here, so hopefully the rest is not too bad. This is just where I was mucking out this morning. I've just thrown a bit of it on there. Brachyglottis. You can see, I'm not sure, things like these Achillea, they're getting a bit old now. They've been in there for a few years. I'm tempted to take those out. Some goats in their yard. There's some sheep in their yard. That's what I've been doing this morning, just clearing the yards and sorting them out. Here again, there's loads of pots of stuff I dug up with the intention of replanting. I mean, whatever I put in here, I can't see that's going to be alive. I know what it was actually. It was, oh look what I've done to it. Oh, I'll write it in because the name's gone off my head again, and what a mess. The periwinkle's got a bit out of control and needs reining in. I did start re-edging this bed, and I at the time decided I was going to put a straight line in, but I've decided I don't want to do that anymore, so I've got to put a curve in there. And then this bed just needs a complete overhaul. But just look at it. What a mess. What a mess. I hope you're all feeling a bit better about your gardens now that you've seen mine. This is just a crate of tulips here, just a bit of an experiment. And then I warn you, oh look, there's my swag. This is bag of rubbish. A mess. This is a mess, but wait until you go into the shed. You see, there's a small pile of shredding there. I've been shredding, and then I'm going to use all this as mulch this year. Put it back on the garden. But this is all from Christmas. This is all stuff waiting to be shredded or chopped up. There are boxes full of it. I did another workshop for a local sort of WI in my village, and they all bought all their own foliage. But then at packing up time, they just put all the foliage in my bins, and I've ended up bringing all that home to shred. Loads of cardboard. This is brilliant to put in compost, so I've just got piles of cardboard to go in the compost, and some more cardboard. And then these are a few surviving anemones and ranunculus. In fact, oh no, there are some ranunculus there. I was going to say that was nearly all anemones. But the mouse has been in here as well. Things are all dampening off in here. I don't like having stuff in here. See, these sweet peas have dampened off. Something ate all of my Dorcas. Something ate all of my Amy. And basically something just ate everything. And then what hasn't been eaten is dampened off, because this is not an ideal environment for it in here. And I daren't water things because there's so much condensation in here, because this is a job still to be done. You can just see the water here on the roof. Anyway, if anything survives, I'll be pleased. And then you see these are ones where the mice had actually just gone in and dug through it, and you can tell it's all been dug through. You know, it's not level. And I mean, there's one that survived but didn't get eaten. Okay, so I did warn you. It wasn't Instagram worthy. In some ways, I hope this video makes you all feel a bit better about yourselves, because I'm imagining that your gardens and workshops are not as much of a mess as mine. If they are, don't worry, we'll get to it now. Seed sowing's coming up, so I do need to start cleaning my seed trays and my propagators and find my grow lights and things like that. So that's something I like to start doing. Usually I start doing that in February, but because it's not up yet, because I'm going to have a polytunnel, I'm tempted just to start a few things a little bit earlier. Now, the advice is not to do that, and I completely agree for most people. But if you're like me and you have a really limited space for starting seeds under light, so I've only got my kitchen windowsill, so I can fit 4 little propagators on my kitchen windowsill, and the grow lights go over that. I can only grow a few things. So for me, if I start earlier, then I can get one thing germinated, then get the next thing and get that germinated, get the next thing and get that germinated. So I'm going away on the train tonight. I'm going to visit the in-laws. My family are already there. I had a couple of days just to take down the Christmas decorations and that sort of thing. And while I'm up there, I will take my seed catalogues and try desperately not to buy too many packets of seed. But there are things for me which definitely want to grow again. Things like annual phlox, okay? Great vase life, goes well in sort of any bouquet, large mixture of colours. After a while, you get an excellent stem length. It does take a minute. So definitely want to get, not just last year I just grew 2 phlox, but I'm going to grow more phlox this year. Things that I think I will grow less of are things like salvia, clary sage, probably things like cerinthe. They're great and they're nice to have, but for me, for retail bouquets, I just need to pick I need to grow more of less. I've been telling myself this for 5 years. Grow more of less. And I never listen. So my next video, I'll probably tell you all the seeds I've bought, and I will have bought way too many. So we'll see. That could well be the next video where I tell you what my seed shop, or it could be polytunnel, or it could be planting trees, who knows. The list of things to do is endless. I don't know if I'll take you along with me for clearing beds, mulching beds. I think I've got videos of me clearing and mulching beds on here already, so you probably don't need to see that again. Anyway, if you've stayed till the end again, thank you very much. If you do like my videos, please subscribe. I've been doing these videos now for 12 months. So this is 12 months of videos, and it's not easy. For me, it's the filming time, but then it's the editing time as well. So if you do like the video, please do subscribe, because if I get subscribers, it tells me that I'm along the right tracks. And obviously if I don't get subscribers, then it tells me maybe I should chuck it in and that people don't care about my garden or what I'm doing. But for me, I'm gutted, because once you watch a channel, you wait for the videos each week, and I am absolutely gutted that Michaela has not only stopped doing her YouTube channel, but she's taken down all the videos, because I was all set, Polytunnel, to go back and watch Michaela's putting up her Polytunnel video and things like that. So if you do like the channel, do subscribe, because otherwise, I mean, Michaela had loads of subscribers, and she's still decided, I think she's just decided that, you know, when you're running a business like she is, there are priorities, and perhaps YouTube was just becoming a bit difficult to fit in. It is all about fitting it in, and perhaps she'll come back to it at some point, and if she does, I'll be there waiting. So not that she watches my channel, but if she did, more videos please. Okay guys, I'm waffling. I will see you in 2024. Have a good New Year's Eve. Bye for now.